Welcome to Toffee TV. These are my 3 talking points from Manchester United to Everton once a day. I'm going to begin with Seamus Coleman, the lovable Irish right back. We all love him. He's a fantastic human being. He's a fantastic fella, isn't he? He's demonstrated that this week by donating to Sean Cox, £5 to the Sean Cox Fund. And he's always got time for the fans, and he gives everything. But just at the minute, he's really struggling with his form, and it's a bit worrying. Obviously, he had a very serious injury. He came back, and put in one of the most incredible performances I think anyone's ever put in after a serious injury when we beat Leicester City last season. Was up and down a little bit before the end of the season, but this season he just hasn't got going, and he's struggling at the minute. And I don't think just because he's Coleman and because of what he's done, we can overlook that. There's a question mark there for me at the minute. And I think everyone in this side needs to be treated exactly the same. It's not that, someone was talking before about the goal and saying, well, Walcott didn't help him. I'm not just talking defensively in terms of conceding goals. I'm talking about the biggest attribute that he has. I mentioned it a little bit in the match reaction. The biggest asset Seamus Coleman has and has had for Everton Football Club over the years has been his ability to drive forward, his ability to get in round the back and put teams under pressure. He was another winger. He was basically like a winger for us. But now, and listen, this could be literally the manager's instructions, but Luca Dean does it on the other side. Every time he gets the ball now, or nearly every time, he stops and passes the ball back, and that wasn't Seamus. Seamus was give and go and head down and running at people and committing either side, putting ball after ball into the box. And recently, just haven't seen anything of it. He got in once today round the back, and he should have scored. He got played in, and he's got to hit the target. He blazed it over. He's got to hit the target there. Now, I'm not suggesting he's finished. I've seen people saying he's finished now. It's sad, but he's finished. He's 29. He's not finished at all, but he's not playing well. And this is something that I think Marco Silva's going to have to keep an eye on, which he will, obviously. But just for me today, I just looked and thought, I've been thinking it for a couple of weeks. Last week he wasn't great. This week he wasn't great. Before he went out the team injured, he wasn't great. So, we need him to get back to his top level. And his position should be just as much in jeopardy as anybody else. Because that's the levels we need to get to. But, yeah, going to have to keep an eye on that one because he's not doing well enough at the moment for me. Moving on, point number 2, John Moss is a knobhead. He's pathetic. The little fat thing is pathetic. I don't know how he passes a test to referee a football match. I really don't. He's absolutely awful. He's always behind the play. Mistake after mistake after mistake. After the Aubameyang goal at the Emirates the other week, he should never have been allowed anywhere near Everton. And I'm going to blame the officials at Everton as well for this, because we should be demanding meeting with these officials now. We played 10 games this season, and in 6 of those games, there's been decisions that have affected the game and that have cost us big time in those games. And if it was Liverpool or United themselves, they'd be crying and bitching all over the news to everyone. The press would be running stories. It'd be a big thing, but it's us. We've just got these things even themselves out. Get on with it. No, they don't. Jack Yelker at Wolves, just utter nonsense. Sent off. Bournemouth away, 2 penalties, 2 Stonewall penalties turned down, and a Callum Wilson breathing, fell over Baines penalty from nothing. Huddersfield at home, a punch in the face of Tosin, that 1-1, which should have been a penalty and a red card, ignored. West Ham at home, 2 in the West Ham game, a high kick from Musaka in the back of Holgate's head, should have been a straight red card. Walcott, wasn't it? Sorry. Should have been a straight red card, got nothing. And then Sigurdsson side down at 2-1, which was a penalty, which he didn't give. Arsenal away, Aubameyang 46 yards offside. And we've had Martial diving today, and Chris Smalling, who'd been booked. Now, I don't know whether they'll throw the double jeopardy in for the penalty. Well, you got a pen, so he can't be booked. But nonsense refereeing. He's just terrible. And Everton, I think, needs to start having a go at these officials and addressing some of these ridiculous decisions. Make a story out of it, because it's embarrassing. And they're getting away with it. Every week they get away with it. They're pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. It's just, last Sunday, just, oh God, just pathetic. And it just pains you to watch it, and you just go, the tough game anyway today. Having John Moss with his United shirt on made it even worse. There's a lot of referees in the Premier League. Why are we getting some dickhead twice in 4 games and we lose, or twice in 5 games, and they're the 2 games we lose because of his direct decisions? Just pathetic. Pathetic. And unless someone addresses it, they're going to continue to get away with it. Third point from today, and it's a point that's annoyed me all season, to be honest with you. Strangely enough, the Southampton game on the opening day of the season, and Wolves, to be fair, we had a lot of variation in our corners. Since then, we look as though we don't practice them. And I know that Marco Silva does. I know that that's something he works on. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why every corner's an outswinger, because we don't really win it anyway. I can't remember us directly whipping a corner in or bending it out and someone heading it at goal and a keeper having to deal with it. We had one today, a Gomez header. I'm talking myself out at this point, aren't I? We had a Gomez header off at a Luca Dean corner, which went straight at the hair. But I was the only one, and probably the only one in weeks and months. And it's, I just want to see us mixing it up. Let's get some variation in our corners. Let's have an outswinger, an in-swinger, a short, a back post, a front. Mix it up so the defending team isn't sure what you're going to do. When we get Big Yerry in there, we've got to be hitting balls in that he can attack, because he'll score goals, but we've got to give him a chance. Hitting them flat so they get headed away isn't going to help anybody, and doing the same thing time and time again. Mix it up. Let's have some variation, and let's start using that as a way to get back into games, because we had one today in the 95th minute free kick and we just wasted it. Absolutely wasted it. So it's something, the set piece is something we have to get better at. But like I said, there's going to be bumps in the road. Today's not really a bump in the road. It's a tough game, United away, but we just haven't performed. And that to me is the biggest frustration, that we've not turned up. But let's hope we start turning up at some of these games, because otherwise we're not really going to make that much progress, are we? But we keep going, we pick ourselves up, and we've got Brighton at home next week. Let's go and smash them. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It takes a sec. If you want more videos, join us on Patreon. Don't forget to check out Ped's instant match reaction. Ped's player rating should be interesting, and my match reaction as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon on Toffee TV.